It's not easy navigating a new relationship post Big Brother on social media. I wanted to enter that house as me. I wanted to stay in that house as me. And I wanted to walk out of that house as me.
Yeah.
I did not want this game to change me. You have no idea about half the stuff going on. I'm sorry, but final 3, I would have never taken Cam. And then, she continues on and she looks at me and she goes, and MJ, you can do so much better. And I'm gonna be his enemy, but I'm gonna keep him close like a friend, and then I'm gonna get him out. Which is so funny because that's exactly what I did. I didn't come here for the money because no amount of money will make me happy compared to the love that I feel from God and know that I have value in that.
Welcome to episode 3 of the Figuring Out podcast. My name is Matt Hardeman. I'm so thankful that you're here and you're a part of this journey. As I've mentioned in previous episodes, this is truly a passion project for me. I'm so blessed and I feel honored the fact that you're tuning in right now. The best way to continue to support us is to like and subscribe. I would appreciate it so much if you did that. And in today's episode, we have the first guest on the Figuring Out podcast. And so buckle up, tune in, and get ready for this conversation with somebody that is very, very special to me. I genuinely do feel like there were probably so many people just upset, disappointed that you were not the co-host on the first 2 episodes.
He
but
beat me to it.
Shout out to my boy Mikey for stepping into the conversation. And if you haven't listened to the first 2 episodes, I would appreciate if you would give them a listen and share with somebody. I felt like I really wanted to lay the foundation of the podcast and almost talk about my story leading up to the show, after the show, my thoughts on my time on the show, just so I could get that out and get it done.
Yeah.
And now we can focus on so many other themes, and you are the best person, of course, to have on. So today, welcome to our first guest on the Figuring Out podcast, which is the one and the only, my girlfriend, Makensy Joe Manbeck.
Hi, baby.
What's up, Kens?
Hi. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thanks. I feel so honored. I'm the first one.
What do you feel like has been like the journey of kind of watching me dream about doing this? Like, has that been fun for you or?
It's been so fun. Well, I think I remember telling you this. I mean, I tell it to you all the time, I think, but one of my favorite things is watching you speak and the way you communicate. I think it is so just infatuating, and I just love it because I think that whenever you conversate with people, you're so intentional, and I feel like you make people feel heard as well as say things that maybe they need to hear, and I just love it.
It's
And
it's a
so
really long way of you being like, my man cannot stop talking everywhere we
he's
go.
a yapper.
He's a yapper and chatterbox, and it's why he was the first to be out on our season, because this man literally cannot shut up.
I know. Well, my thing too is jumping right into it. First week, you and Leah would never be
Let you
quiet
speak. We would never let you
or
speak.
let me speak. So I have learned, I am a great listener,
Yeah.
thankfully.
You are a great listener, and you're also a great speaker as well. And I think for people tuning in, and I would encourage you to subscribe and be committed to the journey of what we're trying to build with Figuring It Out, because you're going to be on a lot against your own will, because I love you and I think you have a lot to say, and you have an amazing story that I'm excited to dive into a little bit today. You also played, in my opinion, my biased opinion, one of the most unbelievable games on the show. As a viewer, as a fan of the show, but also as a fan of you, you're amazing to watch, and I'm excited to dig into it today. But I feel like a lot of people, when they see us on the show, we kind of fit this like role and this character, and we don't necessarily always get the opportunity to display what was happening in life before going on to the show. I think that's a really important piece to not just how we played the game and in our experience in reality TV, but it's also a big part of people understanding just kind of who we are, that we don't necessarily always get the opportunity to talk about. And so I kind of want to start with that today. Like, we saw Makensy, the comp beast, the blue set queen. I mean, obviously my potential robbed showmance, but before we get into that, I kind of want people to know you as a human, like your story in your life.
Yeah.
And so where were you at in life going into the show? Like, what was happening? What were you thinking? What was kind of like just making up the trajectory of like where you were at that time?
Where I was and what I was. Yeah. So I was 22 at the time. I was 8 months removed from graduating college, and Gig-a-Maggies. And I was just in a phase of life where everything was unknown and new, and I felt like I was holding on to these things that, like, I wanted to fit. Like, I graduated from A&M with a degree in construction science. I worked for a huge construction company while I interned in college, as well as that is the same company I started to work for full time following grad. And funny enough, I actually was as soon as I was hired, a month later, I was told I was gonna be let go. And
Whoa.
every month, I was reiterated like, "Oh, we're gonna extend, like, we have a few things that you can do. We're gonna keep you, but you need to be looking for another job. You need to be looking for another job. You need to be looking for another job." And I just like, they just kept engraving me every month, "We don't know about you. We don't know what to do." And I'm 22, questioning the line of work I went into because a female in construction is just very rare.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that, like, why did you choose to go the construction route? Because that is pretty unorthodox, I
I
guess,
know.
for
Whenever I say it, people are always stunned.
yeah.
And so I grew up, my whole family works in construction. My dad owns a construction company. My mom does remodeling and custom homes. My brother is a full-time estimator for a large development company. My uncle is the president of a development and construction company. Like, I was always surrounded by it. I grew up moving house to house. I grew up in construction.
She knows how to use a drill, all
I
right?
do know how to use a
Hammer,
drill.
nail, one strike, boom.
And so I just always was infatuated with it and I knew it. And one thing that I love is being good at things.
Yeah,
Like, I love it.
you're
So
good at a lot.
and I like being unique. And so I'm like, I'm really good at construction. I have all the support I need in it to do well in it. And I'm also a very structured person. I enjoy routine. I enjoy planning. I enjoy a timeline. And construction's all of that with hesitancies and, problems because construction is also very, very problematic, but it's fun. Like, I enjoy solving problems. So there was all the things in construction that I enjoyed. And I chose that right after I said I could never be a nurse because I almost passed out at blood. So that was the original
Why
one
is that like what every girl
to
believes
me.
they have to go into? Like
Well,
every girl's like, I have to
I'm a
be a
helper.
nurse or a teacher.
I'm a helper.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to make people feel good and to make people feel loved in the most horrible times. And so I always thought that's what I could do because I knew I was really, really good at that. And then I found out I was really, really bad with blood. So I was like, I'm just going to help people, live in their dream house or something. I'll help them in another way. And I just always, again, I was surrounded by it. I had the support, everything in it. And it just felt right. And so I ended up, graduating, and my full-time job is so wishy-washy. It's all over the place. I'm unaware of what to do because I feel like God is telling me, like, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe you need to go back into nursing school. I looked into nursing school credits, what I would need to do to be able to go into a nursing program. I thought I was gonna just be laid off. I was going to take my savings that I had and put it towards a 2-year nursing program.
Did you really?
I
You've never
really
told me that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
there is all these things. I thought maybe I could go to cosmetology school. I thought maybe I would just get my real estate license. There were all these things that I was trying to figure
Shout
it
out to
out.
the Figuring Out podcast.
Shout out
Shout out, no
figuring it
shout
out.
out.
And I just felt so uneasy the whole time, and I remember that my dad was like, "You don't need to force anything. Like, you just need to sit and it will come to you and it will happen." And I was like, "Okay." So I remember I just continuously prayed and prayed and prayed. And I was like, "Just take me where I need to be because I am so lost. I'm so confused on what to do. I'm young. I feel like my friendships aren't being the same. Like, all my friends graduated after me. I feel like I had been in a toxic relationship right before. Everything was just so up in the air for me. I'm young. I feel like my life is just at a pivotal changing moment." And then, as I'm praying, I get a LinkedIn DM of like, "Hey, we've got this job for you. It's an amazing opportunity. It's a great
I thought you
construction."
were gonna say Big Brother found you on LinkedIn. I was
Could
about
you
to be
imagine?
like,
Could you
whoa, hey,
imagine?
everybody,
Next thing you know,
get your
Jesse
LinkedIn
Tannenbaum
profile
is
up
DMing
and
me on
running.
LinkedIn. But no, so I get this job that this job offer basically where it's like, we really want, somebody to come in and take the role that you've been doing and you seem like a good fit, come in for an interview. I go in for this interview. I'm sitting in front of 5 men, the regional vice president, the vice president, a super senior intendant, I super senior intendant. It's senior superintendent. I apologize. And my project manager and then another superintendent. And they're just like, "So what do you want? What do you do? How are you?" And I have to look at them and be like, "Honestly, I am here and the reason that you would hire me is because you see potential rather than what I've accomplished because
That's
I
good.
got completely pigeonholed by walking into my first job full time and just taking the comfortable job versus going to a new company because they didn't teach me anything. I didn't have anything to do." And I think just me being honest as well as I feel like sometimes I'm the personality hire, maybe even a diversity hire because I was one of two in their whole entire company, and they are a um, whole United States company. So they are a national
Yeah,
company.
national company.
Sorry, I don't know why. Horrible description there, Mackenzie. But they're a national company, and I was one of two women on the construction side.
In the whole country?
Yeah. On their, like, actual project team side. So
Okay.
they have women in construction on the development team, in marketing or in estimating,
Social media.
social media, yeah.
Yeah.
And so but nobody on field teams, AKA me, and actually being on site with the project. And so I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, what?" I remember I made a TikTok about it because when I found out, I was just like, "What is this life?" And anyway, so I take that job.
And this is how long before?
This is I take it in March, and I
Okay.
get found
Oh,
in
wow.
April.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I take that job in March, so I'm already trending towards
Change.
change,
Yeah.
and I'm enjoying it, I'm taking it, I'm open to it, and then I get told that I have to move on-site to College Station for my job now, and I was like, "I'm not doing that because my ex-boyfriend lives there, and I do not wanna do that." So I thought this change that was gonna help me so incredibly much was going to be this pivotal moment for me, but it wasn't. In fact, in turn, it was a month later when Big Brother found me through Instagram DMs. And
Wait, so can you explain the fear behind going to College Station?
yeah, so I felt like my life was changing for the better and I needed a new environment, new people,
Got
new
you.
experiences. And I didn't want to go back to where I felt that I would be complacent and
Yeah.
not grow as a person and not grow in friendships and definitely not grow in relationships. I didn't want to go date some frat guy still going to the bars with all these girls.
You just needed to hold on.
I just
Hold
need,
on
I
a
just
couple
needed to wait a
months.
couple months,
Hold
baby.
on a couple months.
And I would have been surrounded by again my ex-boyfriend. And there were just things where I knew that it is a small town. There is no way that the time being of me being there for 2 years, I would have never seen that man.
Yeah, there's no God-fearing, handsome Filipino men in College
Exactly.
Station,
Yeah, I mean, I
really,
never
yeah.
met one. So,
Yeah.
um, and so I felt scared because I was like, I just made this huge decision to leave a company that enjoyed me to where I could feel as a person I was making the best decisions and
Yeah.
moving forward for
It
myself.
was a step forward professionally, but a step
Step
back
back.
in personal development and growth.
Well, kind of, but I didn't know that it was going to be that.
Yeah.
And so until later on, but what I believe is that I believe that it was God getting me into a new environment where I'd be more willing to walk away, to
Mm.
listen to him.
Wow.
So I think that placing me somewhere in an environment that he knew that I would be uncomfortable in, as well as I knew I would not grow in, would allow me to say,
I
put
need to
your,
take a
yeah,
risk.
take these
That's
risks,
so
listen
good.
to me, and don't think that you have to stay here and feel like you need to work and you need to stay in this company and all this stuff because I'm going to do so much more and show you so much
Even
more.
at stay in this field, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. In that field. And so as I, look back in those moments, I was like, I remember communicating with my parents about it of like, I feel that this is God telling me to take this opportunity because when I was told that I had to move to College Station, I prayed even more like, don't let me find another job. Let me find a new profession. Like something crazier even happened because I cannot go there. It will be unhealthy.
Yeah.
And 3, 4 weeks later, I get a DM
Wow.
and
Which is wild because if people listen to the first 2 episodes of my story, it's
mhm,
very similar. And I think what people don't see with a lot of people that get casted in these amazing, unbelievable
yeah,
opportunities is for so many of them, something's happening in their life where they're ready to make a change. There's this like crux moment
yeah,
where something big, they almost like feel like something's about to happen in their life. And for those of us that follow Jesus
mhm,
and put our faith in that God is in control of our lives, it's almost insane. It's divine how he's curating this environment in our life
yeah,
to prepare us to take that shot. Like I
yeah.
remember Mikey asking me in the first couple episodes, he's like, "Is there at any other point in your life where you would have said yes to an opportunity like this?" I'm like, "Heck no, absolutely not." And I feel like it's similar to you. Like God was curating this environment
Yeah,
in your life and in your mind and your heart and stirring up stuff to
absolutely.
set you up for what
Mhm,
he was trying to do months
yes.
later, which is beautiful
And
and divine.
I truly do believe that because and every and every situation leading up to there was one where I just felt so hopeless, but it continually just made me be like, okay, God, where are we going? Okay, God, where are we going? Like, what next? Because, you
Something's
know,
got to happen.
something's got to happen because the audacity and the way my life is changing is just not even what I planned.
Yeah,
So, and I'm a big planner.
you are a big
I will say I try and control a lot. And I know I'm not the ultimate person to control things, but I try to. And I feel like that was the largest moment in my life where God was just like, take your hands off and you will have every answer you
trust that
need.
I'm a better driver.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
because I invented the car.
he did
Yeah,
the Ford. Um, but besides the point, all that said, that is what made me feel so confident to make the decision of leaving that job and taking the risk on Big Brother. And that is why I also went into that house and played the way I did because I was there. I am we completely missed that point. I am an athlete. I was a huge athlete,
yeah.
you know, sidebar. I played volleyball growing up. I
In terms of volleyball players in high school and college, Mackenzie was the truth.
the truth
Dangerous. The
I
goat.
I was, you know, basically I should have been wearing I could have been better. I should have worn that blue Lulu set every game I
Oh
played.
my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh, I would have been in
You'd been
Nebraska
just
or
spiking on
y-
people
oh my gosh, it was
straight up in their
crazy. I
face.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
You've been dangerous.
Jeez. Anyways, little did I know, but I humbly was pretty dang good. And, you know, I played my first year at Houston Baptist and I chose to walk away because even though it was a Christian school, it was not Christianity filled.
Sure.
Horrible place. And all that said, that is why I ended up going to A&M. That is what brought me to my career and that is what brought me to Big Brother.
Yeah.
And that is in turn why I played Big Brother the way I did. One, I played it because I just wanted to play games. Like I was an athlete, I wanted to compete again in something, but I wanted it to be for a larger purpose because I knew I was there from a larger purpose, you know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, everybody can be like, "Oh, she was too nice and she was naive and she was manipulated and, you know, she's using her faith and, you know, Chelsea used her faith to manipulate me." I was placed there purposely by God for a reason to depict that if you just trust him, you will get to places.
Yeah.
And I am a strong believer in the fact that I I should never have made it to the final 2. I should never have made it to the final 2. By the grace of God, I did.
Yeah.
And that is because every day I spoke to him and I trusted in him. And I remember just placing everything in him. And I was like, if I'm meant to be here, you're going to let me be here. and that's gonna be it. Like, there's gonna be no other way for me to stay other than the fact that I'm supposed to be here to represent something larger.
Yeah.
And it worked every day. It just was another day. I mean, it was hard. It was
Well,
tough.
one of the reasons that you felt like you should have never made it to the final 2 is because you chose to align with
The hottest man I've
somebody
ever seen.
who, absolutely made it a very, very difficult for you to get very far in the game, and, that's my bad.
I also believe that that was God, though, because
Yeah.
I
Hey, okay, well, let's
I
break
think
that
hold
down.
on. I think, baby, I think it allowed you to represent and showcase things that a lot of people in society today would not.
Mm,
And I believe that it allowed you to be who you are and have people resonate with you and to be a voice of change and of reason. And I think that you benefited the most that you ever could and in the shortest amount of time. And I think that it benefited our relationship.
I agree.
I think that us being able to figure out our relationship aside from reality TV was the reason that we are so healthy
Healthy, I was gonna say
and
that,
we are
yeah.
able to communicate and we feel like our relationship is our relationship. It's not some media
Yeah.
publicity
Media
stunt.
play, yeah.
And so I think that was, 1 and 2 reasons. And 3, I think that was God saying that, "Mackenzie, again, you're gonna have to deal with these things that are gonna be thrown towards you, and it's gonna be for a bigger reason." Like, because I knew you were fine. Like, I was like, "He's probably a model. He's probably so, like,
That's
blown up.
crazy.
Everybody loves him, you know? I can only imagine what God's doing in his life." And I was right. I mean, you had so many opportunities from him. You had so much love, and I could only imagine that, and when I came out, I mean, I had a lot of hate, but I also had so much love and so many supporters for being the person that I was, and I would like to say that I think sometimes that is more beneficial and important to me of knowing that I got to walk away feeling proud of myself and not having any regrets and any, like, I guess, hard feelings towards or what is the word I'm looking for? I just didn't walk away feeling like I did not like the person I was in there.
Sure.
I didn't walk away thinking, "What am I gonna have to deal with? What am I gonna have to amend? What am I going to have to publicly defend?" You
Yeah.
know?
Well, so I want to put a pin in that because I want to talk about some of the themes towards the end of the game, but
Mhm.
I want to go back to kind of the beginning. And so, like you were mentioning, you've got a lot of change happening in your life, and God is just stirring up these
Yeah.
things in your career, in your dreams of the direction that your life could go. And you get presented this opportunity out of the blue, very similar to me, and you take a chance on it and you get flown out into a state that you haven't spent a lot of time in, a new culture, a new
Mhm.
environment, to play this game called Big
Big brother.
Brother. And so you walk into the house. Like, what are you thinking as you're entering into the house? I mean, what can you just like explain for a viewer who is can put themselves in our shoes in this moment?
Yeah.
What is it like walking into the house? What were you thinking and feeling in that moment?
I I was so we're in sequester before you walk into the house. I had COVID. So I'm gonna let everybody know right now. I was almost not on Big Brother season 26. You would not have had me in the final two. I was 1 day removed from testing positive for COVID again and not being able to walk into that house. So I did not speak to anybody. Like, no personal assistants were really talking to me very much because they couldn't come by my room and tell me. Like, they would give me what I need, they'd drop it in a bag, knock on the door, run away. So I never really got to talk to people. So I am just so flippin' excited to walk in and just have
So
friends.
just be there.
I'm just
Yeah.
like, new people, new environment. What am I gonna learn? Like, I can't wait to expose myself to these new things because that's what I was wanting. I wanted new changes and new friends and new experiences. So I'm just like, you know, and it's just crazy to me because I'm like, because you're walking in and I'm so excited, and I'm also just like, I'm really gonna have to live with these people for
What is
3
happening?
months,
Yeah.
like, what? And I also went and looked at the beds, and they were so small. They were so small.
So
And
you walked in with 8, which your 8 was different than mine.
yes.
Yeah. What were you thinking about the people that you were surrounded by?
Well,
Which was like what? Tucker,
Tucker,
Cam,
Cam, Rubina, Chemo, Tucker, Cam, Rubina, Chemo,
Angela.
Angela, Chelsea, me. Who else was there? Was it Joseph?
Yeah, Joseph.
Yes, Joseph. I was just like, dang, this is like,
It's a strong
it
8.
was a strong 8. And I could tell that everybody's personality was so different.
Did you have any like initial um judgments or perceptions about anybody? Was there anybody that like stuck out or something that happened?
Chelsea had a long ass ponytail. And I was like,
This
we're
girl has
either
great hair.
I was like, we're either gonna really get along, or we're either like really gonna not be because she might be kind of mean. And so, cause like I saw it in her, like she had some sass. Like I knew she was gonna run some things. And I also remember Cam, which is so funny because these are the original two where I was
Wow.
just like kind of judging them, not in a bad way, but I was just kind of like analytically like looking at them. And I was like, okay, Cam, because Cam was right behind me too, right next to me. And I was like,
Okay.
okay, he's tall, he's handsome, he's a good looking man, and he's fit. And I was like, and then he smiled, and I was like, dang, he's gonna have every girl trying to be all up. And that's what he's gonna use. I was like, I know he's gonna use it. And I remember, I think in my DRs, I don't think they aired it, but I was like, Cam's gonna go far in this game because everybody's gonna want to be his friend, and I'm gonna be his enemy, but I'm gonna keep him close like a friend, and then I'm gonna get him out. Which is so funny because that's exactly what I did. And I love Cam. I love Cam. But I knew he was going to take that role of like nonchalant, like cool guy as soon as I started talking to him. And he did great at that. Good job, Cam. And I knew Chelsea and I were gonna be really close, or we were gonna be on opposite ends of the house, which is kind of funny because when we started, we were I wanted to be close with her because I want everybody to like me, and I'm, just young and whatever. And apparently, she didn't like me that much at first. But then, me, I egged her on and egged her on and egged her on. And by the end of the season, she really loved me. She
Yeah.
still does.
So that's your 8. And then you walk down to our 8 and we're sitting kind of where
Oh yeah, I walked down,
yeah,
which
yeah.
I mean, I believe that we have spoken about this. If you are a Big Brother viewer already, if you are not, I will inform you. We knew that we were being casted for a potential showmance. We knew that. And so I knew in my 8 that you were not there. I was like, this is weird. Like, this is not my person. I just know it because I knew what I described. Like, I knew, like, I was like Southern gentleman, like Christian.
Wait, wait,
And
wait. Hold on. Break down what you described. Like if you were ever asked, "Hey, I would love to meet somebody on the show." What did you tell
I
them you
said,
were looking for?
I said,
What was your
I
type?
said, tall, dark, and handsome, super outgoing, rooted in his faith, and is going to be.
Able to give me 10 children.
Yes, exactly. That is
They're
the line
like,
that sold them.
"Lock
Boy, do
in,
we have the
baby."
guy for you. But so I'm like, okay, I know he's not here. So I'm terrified to
Look
walk down these
out.
stairs. I'm like, I'm in heels and I'm grabbing the side rail. I'm just walking down without looking. I'm just going down, down, down.
This is
And
actually really funny from your perspective.
and and I remember getting to like the platform. It was like the third stair, kind of like where you turn to actually go down. And I knew it was you because you're the only one standing up for us 8. And you're just like, and you're like, oh my gosh, guys, how are you? And you're wanting to give everybody hugs. I said, that's him. Yeah, that's him. And I was like, oh no, I'm so scared.
Do you remember when we were all sitting around doing introductions and I was the last one. It was funny. I don't remember. Oh, I made a joke. Tucker thought this was like the funniest thing ever,
And
and I was like, man,
I am a
that
dad.
really makes me feel like I'm really funny. But I remember getting up and I was like, hey, nice to meet everybody.
My name is Matt, and
My
I
name's
have
Matt.
a
I'm actually Brooklyn's son, and everybody was like, yo, what? And I
what?
was like, nah, I'm just kidding. And then I was like, you know,
And I have a
I'm
9-month-old golden
golden
retriever.
retriever. Did you actually believe like I had a kid?
No,
You didn't?
no.
Okay, yeah, my bad. No, for sure. That was funny. But I guess like, you know, I talked about it on prior episodes. Like I see you walk down and I'm like, oh man, I'm cooked, you
We
know?
are cooked.
Yeah. And so but you know, everybody knows that a showmance is a target being on the show.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're starting to think, you know, this may be
This could be
divine
it.
intervention, baby. I may
Yeah.
meet somebody that I couldn't have met in the real world. And that is in a value in
Yeah.
itself. Yeah. So I talked about it on previous episodes and I kind of egged it on. But I want you to give your side of the story because I'm
Don't even get
extremely
me started.
passionate about the way this went down, which is I am in the storage room. I'm bringing out people's luggage and I start thinking to myself, everybody's picking beds. They get their luggage, they go to pick beds. And I'm like, yo,
Just
where's that pretty girl going to sleep?
just wait.
And sure enough, you come in and open the door, and I'm like, oh, she's waiting to see where I go. And then I put claim on the pink bed. I'm like, this is where I'm sleeping in the pink bed. Kenny was in there. I'm like, I'm sleeping in this pink bed. And then you pick the bed next to me,
I did.
and we end up, you know, I can't help myself but try to make you laugh
Mm.
until, you know,
Kept
the
me up
sun
all hours of the
rises.
night. Ugh.
What's your take on that situation? Did you choose the bed next to me
So
intentionally?
here is my read on the situation. And it is because, okay, I will admit, you chose your pink bed first and I chose the blue one next to it. Absolutely. Like, if it is point blank, black and white, like, I chose the bed after you did right next to you.
And I
Cool.
want you to know this is gonna live forever. This is like
I'm admitting
permanent
that.
content on the internet. Now
Absolutely.
that we know, you heard it here first. Mackenzie chose the bed, or I'm sorry, Mackenzie chose the bed second. Matt chose the bed first. Thank you.
Yes. Here is the thing. Everybody's like, oh, okay, let's go find the beds. Let's go get the rooms, whatever. And I am watching you hold the door open and you're getting luggage and everybody else is trying to get a bed. And I'm like, oh, okay. And everybody's in like one room. So there's 16 people in these tiny rooms. And I'm just like, this is too much for me. I try to walk into the rooms. Everybody's like, oh, no, no, where do we sit here? And what about me here? And you who wants to be here? And I'm just like, I am overwhelmed. I want to be nice. Matt is like in this room grabbing suitcases and then opening a door and pushing them out for other people. And I was just like, I'm overwhelmed. I'm going to step back because I don't want to deal with it. And so I started holding the door open for you to like just push the suitcases out. And I wasn't even thinking like, oh, I'm going to like wait for him, like, ha ha ha, like this is my move. I was intentionally just like trying to be kind and help you because I just felt like
You loved me
I loved him.
because I fell in
The
love with you.
second I laid eyes on him, I was like, "You are mine, and you will not get away from
Well,
me."
long story short, we end up sleeping next to each other, and I'm just like, I don't even think I've fully laid this out to you in like private, but like every time I was around you, my stomach was just in a knot. I mean, I was just nervous. Like I'm like, I want to try to show this girl that, you know, I'm feeling her and I think she's
You
great,
wanted to be
whatever.
cool.
Yeah, but
You wanted to be
I was
cool.
trying to play a gangster, you know. I was like, I can't show it too much. And I remember, and you're gonna have to probably correct me because I feel like I always tell the story wrong. But
We'll see if he says the
they
right thing.
essentially bring out this giant charcuterie board,
Yes.
and it's just got all kinds of nonsense on it. I
Yeah.
mean, it is the most I've never seen a charcuterie board like this.
Yeah.
And I remember I literally I don't think I had said many words to you at all because I was like, I'm not ready for that yet. Like I was
Yeah.
nervous and whatever. And then you kind of pull up next to me and you're like, what is this on this charcuterie board? What is that? A dragon fruit? And it was a radish. And I remember like picking at you being like, what did you just think that was? And you were like, a dragon fruit? I was like, yo, who puts dragon fruits on that's a
If you put
radish.
dragon fruits on a charcuterie board, please send me a picture and it through DMs because I would like to prove this man wrong.
But when she did that, that was my in. I was like, because I was kind of poking her out. I'm like, yo, it's crazy. You thought that radish was a dragon fruit. And then I started to just pick at
He
you
thought
to
this
flirt
is
about
this is
it.
what I think. I love the story because you love it so much and it is so adorable for you to be like, this was my in and
It
I
was my
and I rah,
end.
rah, rah. And I'm just like, this is the dumbest joke ever. Like, and I
No.
was just so annoyed with him. I'm like, can you drop the
This is a pivot.
dang
This is a
radish?
pivotal moment in our relationship narrative
I know,
because
but
basically she would be walking anywhere and she'd be like, "Hey, where are we supposed to put our clothes?" I'm like, "I don't know, maybe where they put dragon fruit." Like I
yeah,
would
he
just
would
bring it up
not
as much as
drop
I
it.
could.
And I was just like, he's never
What's
I
wrong
knew
with
I
this
was like,
man?
he's never gonna drop it. I am just gonna have to like whatever. But the thing is too is I do believe like that's how I knew you were flirting. So I was aware of it. So
That's what I'm
I
saying.
thought it was
It
cute.
worked. It literally
I thought it
worked. It
was
worked
cute,
perfectly.
but I was like, why this? Like out of all
It
things,
was
because
all
we
I
had funny
had.
conversations. I was like, we're 6 days in and you are still talking about this dang radish.
That's so
And I'm
funny.
just like, we've had so many other moments that you can make fun of me for that are more pivotal and hilarious, but
Well,
yet this was your first one. So you're like, this got the girl. And I'm sitting here like, I love this because he thinks this is what got his girl.
Well, it worked, and you boys got game. So hey, and you're sitting next to me, and we're in love. So that is what it is.
We are in
But
love.
so essentially, we end up sleeping in beds next to each other, and there's
You
just
never let me
absolutely
slept.
no way I could
You
help
never,
myself.
yeah.
I'm trying to crack you up anytime that I can. We're getting slammed by production because the moment
Oh,
you're like, okay, well, you should
please
go
put
to
on your
sleep,
microphones.
and then
Oh
I'm just like,
gosh.
I can't stop. I can't
Poor
resist.
Kenny. We are so sorry, Kenny. We
Yeah,
love you.
it's actually really funny because in the room that we're at, it was me, you, Kenny, and Kenny. So, in the show, they won't turn off the lights anywhere if people are continuing to talk.
Yeah.
And so Kenny, in the later days of the first week would literally take a t-shirt and wrap
Wrap
it
it
around
over
his
his
eyes
head.
so he could get some sleep because they wouldn't turn the lights off because I just couldn't stop talking. So I also
Yeah.
apologize to you, Kenny. But long story short, we obviously end up kind of hitting it off. We have a connection and we're staying up super late. We're hanging out in the
Yeah. I
bathroom,
think in the first week, I think we collectively,
slept like 6
I think
hours
I was gonna say like 7, 8 hours. Cause
without a
there was
doubt.
one night where we got 3 and I was like, I feel so rested.
There was one night we were like, okay, we need to go to sleep, thinking we would wake up around 10
Oh my
a.m.
gosh,
the
it was
next
the first
morning.
veto day. It was
Yeah,
the first veto day that we played. And I remember I went to the bathroom, it was 6:56
yeah.
and walk into the bathroom, come back out 6:57. Lay down, so it's probably still 6:57. Good morning, house guests. I walk back to the kitchen, 7:01.
We
I
had
said,
slept like what,
2 minutes.
2 minutes,
I think I closed
but
my
in my
eyes.
head, I did fall fully asleep. I was like, oh, it's already 10 o'clock. That's crazy. That shows how tired I am. We literally slept a couple minutes,
2
and you
minutes.
cannot take naps
Nope.
in the game during
I
the
did
daytime.
all the time. I got yelled at by production so much.
So that was tough. We played a lot of the game, very, very sleep deprived. But we hang out a lot in the bathroom. We hang out all the time. I can't
You
help
were
myself
constantly around
around
me
you. I
because
just
I
can't
am
help it.
just so amazing.
You are amazing, and I could not help myself. But we're hanging out in the bathroom every night. And then one night, we would hang out there, and sometimes people would wake up, they got to go to the bathroom.
Yep.
They'd walk by and be like, "I can't believe you guys are still up." And then one night, a certain little rat comes crawling in, little blonde tiny rat,
She is a
and
mouse.
it's Leah Peters,
She's a mouse.
and she starts talking to us, and we just start dying
Oh my
laughing.
gosh.
And part of the
That
reason
girl.
I thought Leah was hilarious is because she would do this impression of Joseph because Joseph has a mustache, and she would always like act like she was twirling his mustache.
Dude.
Like I thought that was the funniest thing ever. But
Miss Leah Peters,
we
I
hang
love
out
you.
all the time, and I remember, I mean, there was probably 2 days we would just stay up dying
Dude.
laughing, cracking up, not even
She's
realistically
so great.
probably talking about the game. And then I remember her saying one night, she's like, guys,
She's on a beanbag and we're sitting on, I think, 2 lounge chairs. And she goes, we should do something.
she was like, guys, I want to be in something. And we were
Yeah.
like, we do too. Like
Let's
we
do
would love
it.
to be in something. Do you want to do something together? And we were like, we should make an alliance. And I was like, okay, let's name it.
2 days
And
later.
well, we're getting there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get
Sorry. I
there.
get excited. This
So
name is hilarious.
essentially, we start working together. We kind of
Yes.
solidify we're gonna make this alliance, and that's the plan. And we're all kind of talking about all that we're gathering across the house. And my hope for an alliance with you and Leah was that you guys could lean into other sides of the house that I couldn't lean into as easily. And hope that we could kind of all come back together in the nighttime and break it down for one another so we
Yeah.
could gameplay and make moves. But sure enough, my situation changes drastically.
How?
And this crazy lady, crazy grandma comes downstairs and exposes me. And I would love for you to talk about kind of your perspective in that, because she makes this comment where she's like, MJ, you can do so
So
much
much
better.
better.
And it's like day 3, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
think,
it's day 3 and she kind of brings you into that. And that really did piss me off because I thought that was unfair to you. But what was that like for you? I mean,
I remember so it's all happening, everybody was in the kitchen or in the bathroom. And I'm in the bathroom just sitting there, and I just hear like yelling, and I'm not fully attentive to it because I'm like 16 people, whatever's going on. And then I hear crazy eyes.
that's the first thing you heard?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
And I
goodness.
was just like, yo, huh? Like, who is saying that? And I remember, I think in the edit, I go, and I finally like turn around and I start like listening, and I'm just like, oh, this is like really mean. Oh, I don't know what's going on. I was like, because I also know that you felt like the conversation that you had with her was so great.
Went
So
great.
I was like, huh?
And I don't think what a lot of people know is me, you, and Leah in alongside Joseph, who
Mm-hmm.
was trying to work with me. That morning, I had told the both of
Yeah.
you, I'm going to go upstairs to tell Angela and Joseph that we have us 3 and we want to make a alliance of 5.
Yeah.
Like not even seconds before that
I know.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and me and Leah were close with Angela that week. Like, we felt like we
Yeah.
had a lot of sway with her. I think she really enjoyed us. She enjoyed us throughout the whole house. And that's why I was also so confused by it, because I had thought that with mine as well as Leah's influence and conversations, that she was going to give you more grace than she did. And she just didn't. And, to each their own, some people handle situations differently than others.
Sure.
And that just was such a shocker to me. And I remember I froze up just in the mere fact of just being like flabbergasted that anybody would even just do that. And so I finally listen, I'm listening, and I finally get up and I go out there, and I'm just standing there shocked, like speechless. And part of me wanted to intervene, but I also like I didn't know what to say because I was so confused on what it was all
I
about.
was too. And it was to me, I
And
was confused on
so
what it was about.
and so I remember, and I went and sat next to Leah, and
You're like, yo, what is
I was
happening?
like, "Yo, what did I miss?" She was like, "I don't even know." And so I'm sitting there, and then, she continues on and she looks at me and she goes, "And MJ, you can do so much better." And I was just like, "What, huh?" Because everybody, yes, depicted us in a showmance, and we did enjoy each other, but
But at that
we
point, we
were
were not.
still figuring it out. We
Yeah.
were just communicating. We were close. And whether or not we were going to be close, relationally
Romantically.
and romantically, we were always going to be close
Yeah.
anyways, because we had similar values and we were
Got
similar
along.
personalities, and we just got along just as if Leah did. Like, we hung out
Yeah.
just as much as Leah did
Yeah.
with us. And so there were so many things where I was like, that was kind of unnecessary. But besides the point, I just was so hurt again that somebody could dismiss another human being in that regard, whether it be game or not. You just don't speak to people like that. You don't do that.
Yeah.
And you definitely don't bring in family members. You don't bring in, things that are outside of the game. And I just didn't like that. And I remember I was very emotional about it because I'm also sitting here missing my family. My mom's birthday was on the second day that we were in there. And she's bringing up your mom. And I'm just overly emotional. I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like, you're a mom, you're a mother. And I expect, as somebody who's been through life and lived life, for you to hold yourself in a manner that is going to be a good representation to other people and for
Sure.
other mothers. And, you can play the game. You don't have to be degrading, though.
Yeah, it was
And
it was
so it was just hard.
crazy
And I cried a lot. And I was so sad because I was like, I miss my mom. And if she said that to me, I don't know how I would feel. And I feel so bad for
crazy,
him.
shocking, insane. I talked about it a lot on the previous
Yeah.
episode. I mean, it is what it is, but kind of moving on from that,
Yeah. There's
we
not
solidify
too much time on that.
we solidify our alliance, me, you, and Leah. And obviously, everybody thought you and I were in a showmance, so we called our alliance the Throwmance.
Thromance. I love
And
it.
I am biased. Obviously, I think we would have been such an entertaining alliance to continue to
We would
play
have
out
been the
through the
trio.
season.
There was another trio, and it was Rubina, Chemo, and T-Core.
Boo,
Stop.
boo.
But I feel like our trio would have just been so
It
entertaining.
would have been so fun. I know. And it was fun for the 10 days we got to do
I
it.
really
But
was.
sure enough, I get put up and I get evicted.
Yeah.
Did you really believe that I was going home that week? Like where were you at?
I I was scared that you were gonna go home, but I was scared that you were gonna go home, and I thought that there was an idea. I either knew that it was going to be everybody completely lying to me or everybody was being truthful. And again, that's the game.
Yeah.
So, but I remember, like, I was on the couch literally shaking. You can see me being like this. Like, I have never had that much, and I have anxiety and I stress out, but I had never felt that scared in a long time because after the blow up, I had been isolated as well.
Yeah.
And I had nobody who wanted to personally connect with me. And in a
Because you were
house,
attached to me.
yes.
Yeah.
And in a house that is already so isolating because you don't know the true intentions of anybody, I knew that if you were gone, I was going to be alone.
Yeah.
And so, and not to say like Leah was still there. However, Leah, even after the blow up, started to distance herself a little bit because she was looking out for her game. And as they should, there's no hard feelings in all of that.
Yeah.
But I was worried for my well being because I was so emotional because I was like, the one person who cares about me as a person is possibly walking away.
Yeah. And I remember the night before eviction night. Um I knew I was gonna go,
Yeah. And
because
I was like, oh,
every room I walked into, people slowly were starting to
leaving.
leave.
Yeah.
And I was kind of sitting here like, y'all, I'm not stupid. And I understand the threat I am in this game.
Yeah.
I I had done a lot of social work. I built a 8-person alliance called BS, which is like pure hysterical comedy irony that it actually was
Was
BS.
BS.
I had
Yeah.
an alliance with you. I still got Lisa's vote in the end. Kenny would have rocked with me to the very end. I had done a lot of social work. I knew that I'm probably going home if I stay on this block. And I don't even think we talk about this enough, but I remember that night feeling that feeling of just
Yeah.
isolation. And the backyard's closed because they're setting up for competition, and so you're kind of stuck in this house. And I felt like because Crazy Lady was HOH that week, that I could never go upstairs, and so
Yeah. You
I
were you were confined
I
to
felt
a
like I
smaller
only
part
had
of the house.
access to the lower level of
Yeah.
the house, and that sucked. Like I've literally only been in the HOH room a handful of times in 10 days, which just kind of sucks. It sucks to look back on my Big Brother experience, whatever. But I remember that night thinking to myself, like, this is probably going to be the last time I get to hang out with Mackenzie
Yeah.
till who knows.
Yeah. We stayed up and did laundry together.
Yeah, and I just remember being like, "Dude, screw it." Like, I know what needs to happen. If I don't win AI Arena, I'm going home. No, I've done literally everything I can do. I've played the game as much as I can play. This is just what's gonna happen. I built an alliance. I made every single person in that house look me in the eyes and asked for their vote, and if they said yes, made them lie. And so I knew if I went out, at least I had made everybody lie, and everybody knows that every other person's playing game. I was like, it is what it is. We know what's got to go down. I either win and get to stay, or I don't and I'm going home.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to tell you all that. You know what I mean? I didn't want you to freak out.
I'm sitting there with you. I'm like, well, we have this one and maybe this one, and well, we
You're
could
like, I feel
possibly
like
get
we're
this.
fine.
And I feel like we're fine because, well, they're saying this. Because again, I did not talk game with people possibly until week 4,
Yeah.
5. Because nobody wanted to talk. I remember being like, yo, so y'all talking game? Like, I don't think anything's happening.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, what?
I'm like, yo, I've been
I've
offered
I've
like
been
3
5
final twos.
alliances. I was
Yeah.
like, huh?
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, these people really don't like me.
Yeah. So, what did you think when I walked down the stairs, Chemo had won, I played the dumbest comp in Big Brother history, in my opinion, and I lose off chance? That's a conversation for another time. That junk was lame. I was saying that to this day. But I walk down, I get evicted. What are you thinking in that moment? I
When you
mean,
get evicted,
yeah,
this is gonna be a tough 80 days.
yeah,
I mean, that's really the biggest thing. I was just like, this is gonna be a tough 80 days, and everybody in here better buckle up because I am pissed. I
yeah,
was like, I am pissed, and I'm going to basically take every single one of you singly out.
yeah.
Just I'm just gonna get rid of y'all because I have nothing in here now for me to look forward to other than winning.
Yeah, and so I get evicted, and sure enough, you're the last person I speak to before leaving, and
Yeah,
we hug it out.
we
And
hug it
it
out.
is like to look back. I mean, it's such an emotional
I walked
like,
away. I didn't even like I couldn't even look at you. I remember because again, I was shaking and I just started crying. I walked away because I was like, what, what am I supposed to say here? What am I supposed to do? I don't know if I should be tough. I don't know if I should be crying. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Everything in my mind is just blank as well as like racing through any and all things. Like I'm feeling nothing and everything all at the same time.
and we get this powerful moment,
But
and
yeah,
and
well,
to watch it back, even to this day, I just get like people. I think it depicts well what we were feeling, but being in it, people will never understand the
yeah,
emotion felt in that moment. And I'm hugging you and I'm whispering in your ear.
yeah.
Do you want to tell everybody kind of like what I
It
said?
was so hard because I remember main things because again, I'm like blacking out. I'm like, because I knew as soon as you let go of me, you were gone.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like really focusing on like you hugging me. And I'm also focusing on your words, but like it's hard. And so I just remember the main points being you're gonna be okay. I'm gonna find you after this and we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna see what can come of this, basically. And good luck. And I was just like,
Huh?
I'm just sitting here like, well, now what do I do?
And so even
Because
after that, so
I didn't say anything back. I was
yeah.
just like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So powerful moment. I get evicted. My time's done. I will literally never forget watching the first episode aired at from home,
Yeah.
and you and Leah, I mean, I watch you like kind of have the shakes, you're freaking out, and you and Leah just go to the camera and are like, we're doing this for
For
you.
you.
We're gonna go after this. And
Oh yeah.
that was the coolest feeling in the world. Like to just have two people that I care
Yeah,
about,
absolutely.
and that was real.
That
And
was
so thank
real.
you for that. It
I
was
remember,
amazing.
I think one of the funniest moments was okay, so I don't know why I think it's funny. I think it's very powerful, but you walk out and I'm trying to stay put together. Like I cried and then I wanted to listen to you. And I was just like, yeah, and I'm trying to smile and, be fine. Door shuts. You finally are out of view and you're not looking at me anymore. Shuts, fall. Everybody and every little fake person wanted to be like, they all like if you watch it, I'm basically alone because I start backing away and everybody's trying to grab for me and I shake everybody off. I'm like, do not touch me, you lying sacks of crap. Because all of y'all knew what you were doing. All of y'all knew that the only reason this man is getting out is because he was unfairly treated and y'all don't care. And you could have been honest with him because at the least that's what he deserved based upon what he'd already been through. And that's why I was so mad. And so I walk away, I'm bawling. I'm like, nobody talk to me. F y'all. And I walk to the bathroom. And then in that 10 seconds later, Leah has her door moment where
Yeah.
she's like smiling and she walks in the door and she sees me and she breaks down. And then we're just, shaking, crying, everything. And I was like, F this house. F, like, I don't even know what to do. Like, I'm just gonna try and avenge him, you know?
That was crazy to watch. I mean, sitting at home again. I mean, I couldn't, I felt so loved by that.
Yeah.
And you and Leah, obviously, you have a special place in my heart, but you and Leah will always have a special place in my heart because that will be in the episode,
That will
forever.
be on
And
TV
that
forever.
was really powerful,
Yep.
and that was cool. Kenny had some moments like that too, and that was amazing. So I'm gone, my time's done, and you go on week after week
Week
after
after
week
week.
to win and win. You're a target time after time.
Yeah.
That is largely my bad. You
It's not your
just
fault. I don't believe that it is purely your fault. I think that people were going to isolate me no matter what.
yeah,
I think that there were a lot of preconceived thoughts without even knowing me that the house chose to have and didn't want to get to know me. And
yeah.
that's fine. You know, you didn't have to get to know me for me to get far because the thing was, is I was just going to beat your ass.
And you did. I mean, you talk about the record a little bit. Like you have more wins.
Yes. So technically I am tied for most comp wins with Jag from season
25.
25. And however, the reason I'm not beating him is because one of my competitions, which was my power up competition, does
Oh,
not count
okay.
because not everybody got to participate in it.
Yeah,
And I'm like, well, kind of they did. They were just jerks and voted Ainsley out.
right.
So sorry, that's y'all's bad, whatever. So sometimes I want to look at Jag and be like, I'm I'm the real comp beast. But at the same time, I also understand that he won a lot more comps that were more physically difficult. So
Yeah,
I give him his flowers. He is great too. But I am the female with the most competition wins
heck yeah.
and of the season and of just 26 seasons so
And
far.
you were unbelievable, baby. Like
Thanks,
I'm
Yogi.
I'm extremely biased, but like, I remember the AI arena that you were up against Rubina and Cedric.
Mhm.
I was watching with Matt Klotz from 25,
Yeah.
who's my boy. Shout out Matt. And that was insane to watch live. Like I was,
It's
I
very
was, I
close.
was live on TikTok. There's a video of it on my Instagram.
Yeah.
I was just going nuts. I mean, it
Yeah.
was insane to watch. You were an amazing competitor, an amazing athlete. You played just the most unbelievable
Mhm.
game, and it brought you to the end.
Yeah.
So we're at the end of the game. I mean, what do you think about the end of the game? Who you're there with, kind of how you
Yeah.
got there, what's going through your mind in that?
So, we get to final 5 and I'm just like, wow. From here on out, it's basically you need to win to stay.
Yeah,
And I was like, thankfully, I can win. I was like, I think I have the ability to take myself to the final 2 chairs. And so because I also knew like I knew Rubina and Chemo were closer together as a pair than I was. And I knew that so here was my huge problem. And love Leah, but final 7, it's me, Rubina Chemo, Angela Leah, Cam Chelsea. So I'm the singular one in these 3 groups of 2s.
okay.
And so that's how I'm viewing it, and I'm like, how and who would be comfortable taking me
Mm,
over their pair? And so I was like, Leah, and I love, and she does say that she would take me, but I do think that there would have been some ability for her to flip if she would have gotten further. Like
yeah,
she would have had to assess the game differently if she was there for another 5 weeks.
yeah,
So I think that in the time that I did, I was like, I don't know if Leah is going to take me over Angela, and I definitely know Rubina and Chemo are not going to take me over anybody.
yeah.
And Cam and Chelsea, I was like, I've been working with them. Chelsea's kind of always pissed off at Cam a little bit. Um, and Chelsea's not threatened by my game right now.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
Because similar to you,
because
Chelsea can win.
yeah,
She
Chelsea
can
can win.
win.
Chelsea
She's
is
playing the
a
game.
big brother mastermind. Like Chelsea is a very deserving winner.
And y'all
And
go back to back
yeah,
every week for how many
absolutely.
weeks?
And
Nobody could beat you
exactly.
guys.
So here was my thing. Chelsea was the only person I felt that could protect me because she knew that I was going to protect her and was going to be the only person able to protect her.
Yeah.
And so I think we just underlyingly knew that. And that's why I rocked with her through the whole thing. And, you know, personally, and again, I went in there on a bigger purpose than to win. Of course, I wanted to win. Of course, I wanted to do well, but I was there for a bigger reason. And that was my faith. And it is hard and very rare, you know, to walk into that house that I thought to have had the connection that we did and the ability to just bond with somebody personally so just like real and raw, you know? And, you know, people love to say that she used her faith to manipulate me and whatever, and I was naive with my faith. That's faith. Like that wasn't anything. That wasn't game. We got along. We
Yeah.
got along. We could speak.
And you
We
still
had the
do.
same values. And that is why, you know, a lot of people like to pin us against each other nowadays. But
They can't.
like there's no way that anybody can make me see her in a different light and as this rude, manipulating person. And I loved it because Chelsea went and made a reel kind of after like I made a reel kind of joking about my Big Brother game and everybody was like, You let Chelsea manipulate you." And Chelsea comes out with a video like an hour later and was like, "Chelsea played Big Brother." And I was like, "Facts.
Yeah.
Chelsea played Big Brother as well as I did." And that's that. You know, like I'm not even like if she lied to me, great. You know how many other people lied to me?
Yeah.
It was does that mean I'm not gonna be their friend? No, because it was in the game. And the things that she would lie to me about were game things. And she would turn it off sometimes, and we would be able to have real, raw connection and
Many
real, raw
times.
conversations. And we were able to build a friendship as well as an alliance, as well as, you know, just this storyline that not a lot of people wanted to see because it's not normal, you know? And that's why I just get so upset when people try and, you know, get mad at her or call me dumb. I'm like, I'm sorry, but final 3, I would have never taken Cam. I would have never taken Cam. He didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve it. He had no right to sit in that final chair and make at least 90K and definitely did not deserve the opportunity to possibly win.
Why do you feel that way?
He did nothing. He did nothing. And also, I know him. I know he would have, if I chose Cam in the end, he would have dragged my butt through the mud saying that he did nothing and all he had to do was bat his eyes at me. And I would have been like, you're joking, you know? But there were multiple reasons as to why I chose Chelsea. 1, because of my faith. 2, because she deserved it. And 3, quite honestly, and I do believe Chelsea would believe me, I did not think I would lose 7-0. I knew it was going to be close. I thought it was gonna be close, but I did not think it was gonna be a 7-0 vote, 0-7, I guess, for me.
Yeah.
And that's still hard. Like, I'm okay with losing. Again, Chelsea was an amazing, phenomenal player. She knew the game. Honestly, like, if you were to from the beginning without even seeing a game, like, if you were to be like someone who should win Big Brother, I would've been like a player who
I
is
agree.
so invested in this, that wants to play Big Brother, that is, like, dying for this opportunity. I was just found through Instagram DMs. You think I'm like, "Oh, Big Brother." I mean, now I'm, like, obsessed with Big
Yeah,
Brother.
we no,
But
we both
yeah,
are so obsessed with the
so
game now,
obsessed now.
but we could have only played at the
Yeah,
time that we did with what we had to play with, which
absolutely.
wasn't a lot.
And so, again, my final statements when I walked out those houses was like, if anybody should have won this game other than me, it should have been Chelsea Bayham.
Yeah.
Like, it should have been 100%, which is why so many people are like, "Just admit that you made a mistake. Just own up to it," you know, like, "You don't need to defend yourself anymore. It's been a year." And I will look into this camera dead center and say, I 100% to this day still would make that same decision and am still okay with the outcome.
Dang.
Because the thing is I don't need other people's approval for the decision I made. I don't need other people to understand it because I can
They
sit
weren't
here and
there.
say whatever I want to, and people would still be like, "No," and not believe me and choose to have their own reality based upon what was shown, what was not. And the thing is, y'all, you have no idea about half the stuff going on, and you have no idea about what I was thinking, the reasons I was making these decisions fully. You can say you watch the live feeds. Our live feeds were off all the time. Our live feeds only show 4 cameras. You think you know, and
Live feeds
and
cut all
also,
the time.
you know, like, you don't understand the things that are also not game that play implications to these decisions that we have to make. And sadly, like, I had to take that into account. And that's why I'm okay with the decision I made because I would rather lose to Chelsea than lose to Cam.
So if you bring Cam to the final 2,
Yeah.
do you believe you beat him?
I do believe and Cam told me this. Cam confirmed in me, and I believed it too. I knew that he was either gonna be really close with me and Chelsea or it was gonna be 7-0 because our jury was emotional and, you know, I feel like sometimes they couldn't just
Look at it just
evaluate
as
as a
game.
game.
Just as a
And
game.
so there are things that I was in my brain being like, am I willing to sit here and lose to Cam? Am I willing to take that chance and give Cam the win?
Yeah.
And I was just like, no, I'm not. I'm not okay with Cam winning. I'm not okay with doing this with Chelsea and taking the possibility of me losing to Cam over taking the possibility of me losing to Chelsea. And I was okay with it.
And
And
clarify, that's because you did not feel like taking Cam.
yeah, I
Yeah.
did not feel like taking Cam was going to solidify my win.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
And you didn't
And
take Cam
and I
because you didn't feel like he
yeah, and I
deserved
didn't
to
take
sit in the
Cam
final 2.
because Cam did not deserve to sit in final 2 and did not deserve to win.
Yeah.
And, you always tell me, you're like, "Well, why wouldn't you have just taken Cam to, like, show that you still wouldn't have won?" I'm like, "Because no matter what, like, I know my truth. I know the reality. I know details that people don't, and America didn't need to see it."
Yeah.
Like, I'm so okay with being that person of being like, "That's fine." You know?
Yeah.
I didn't come here to sit here and I didn't come there to break Big Brother records. I didn't come there to, be this mastermind. I came there to play a game and to represent what I wanted to and to be who I am to my core because I wanted to enter that house as me. I wanted to stay in that house as me. And I wanted to walk out of that house as me. I
Yeah.
did not want this game to change me.
Which you did,
Yeah.
which you did. And, I think there's always this label of bitter juries. I don't think we had a bitter jury. I do think we had an emotional jury.
Yeah.
And I will make a stand as a fan, unbiased as your boyfriend who loves you, but as a fan of the show now who is obsessed with watching the feeds and keeping up with it
Yeah.
all and in strategy in the game, somebody who's just a super fan of the show now. The game you played did not elicit a unanimous vote, and I
Yeah.
think that is absurd. And it will go down, in the books. But I
Yeah.
I am almost thankful. I mean, to watch you and Chelsea sit in the final 2, you were the most 2 deserving
Absolutely.
players based off a
Absolutely.
game to sit in the final
Yeah.
2 chairs. And people want to talk about the implications behind why Chelsea won over you, why you made the decision that you did.
Yeah.
I choose to spend more time thinking that I think season 26 of Big Brother is an unbelievable story. Unbelievable.
Mhm.
From the first week to the last week, I think it is a one of the most iconic Big Brother seasons in the history of the show. I am blessed to have been a part of it. And what puts the cherry on top is that 2 deserving people sat in the final 2 chairs,
Absolutely.
and it makes our season that much more amazing.
Yeah, 100%.
And I love it.
I'm thankful that the fans and the viewers got to see such a incredible storyline as well as incredible final 2. I mean, I personally believe that Chelsea and I had the same yet the most different games. Like, we were from the bottom to the very top, and we worked our way to get there together, and it was a beautiful sight to know that all of our hard work paid off,
Yeah.
and that we can respect each other
Yep.
in a game sense, and we can respect each other personally.
Yeah.
And leaving that house, I am have been blessed by God leaving that house. Like, I have not had to worry about anything. Like, my life has changed completely. And that's not because of money. That's because of opportunity and people and
Experiences.
experiences that I've gotten to have, and that is what I wanted, you know? I mean, sure, money's great, you can go buy some cool things, you can start something, but the biggest thing in this world that I think is more fruitful than money and more just let's see,
Valuable.
yeah, just valuable and incredible is just the idea that I get to live life being happy and proud with people that love me and support me, and that I get to walk around with my head held high, knowing that I am, the daughter of our God, and I know that He is so proud of me for who I
Absolutely.
am and what I've done in this world and what I represent,
Who
and
you are.
yeah, just who I am. And like, that has no price. And that is why when people are like, I said, I didn't come here for the money. And I didn't, because no amount of money will make me happy compared to the love that I feel from God and know that I have value in that. And so people can be mad if you're not a Christian. I can understand how sometimes maybe you don't understand that viewpoint, but the way I live my life and the way I make choices and decisions and the value that I put on things is because of the beliefs that I have,
Yeah.
you know?
And to summarize, I think what you're saying is that what you deem as valuable in
Mhm.
your life, what you deem as most valuable
Yeah.
in who you are, in your, value structure, money's not at the top.
No.
And we played a game where you get to win a large sum of money,
Yeah, they're mhm.
and that's great, but
Yeah.
the opportunity to take the opportunity we were given and to turn it into something that
Yeah.
is higher on your value structure, which is putting good out into the
Yeah.
world, which is character.
Absolutely.
Those are it's the weird dichotomy of playing Big Brother.
I know.
It's like some of those things, your value structures can change, but anytime that I think when watching reality TV, and what should be a depiction of reality,
Yeah.
we get to watch people um, display beautiful, good, encouraging value structures.
Mhm.
When you see, this is what this person says is valuable.
Yeah.
And in watching reality TV, it should be telling to us of maybe we should think about what my life would,
Yeah.
the sum of my life would show I view as valuable. And so
Absolutely.
it's a beautiful theme. I think you played an amazing game. I think it's really hot when you choose to stand on your business about the stuff you did in the game. That was you were like, I'm gonna look in this camera. I was like, I want you to look at me like that. But it was an amazing experience. And you played an amazing game. And I honestly, it gave me the opportunity to meet you, for you to meet me, and we'll continue to get to write the story
I
of
know.
um, post Big Brother. And I'm excited to in further episodes bring listeners and viewers into what
Us.
it was like. Yeah, what it was like to leave the show. Big Brother's done,
Yeah.
and things that we've worked through, things that we've fought to keep pure, things that we've wrestled with, arguments
Yeah.
we've had to overcome, obstacles
Absolutely.
that have come our way, chasing in the pursuit of a real, raw, authentic love with one another. I'm excited to continue to talk about that on this podcast, and I really am passionate about it because I think a lot of the themes within it are going to help a lot of people,
I do
and
agree.
that's
I
what it's all about.
I think that, I think social media shows a highlight reel, but there are multiple things that we have had to navigate Now, through it all, I've loved you, and we've figured it out. Figured it
which
out.
is the name of the
I
podcast.
always hate saying it because I'm like, this is a
It's
great
such a
name.
strategic
It's such
name
a
because
it's so
everybody
good.
says it so
It's so
much, and it's
good.
such
It's so
a
good.
it's such a free promo.
But, you know, it's not easy navigating a new relationship post Big Brother on social media with tons of people looking for things.
Your relationship being public.
Is
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
And so I'm very thankful that we have, and we are still learning and still growing, but we give each other grace and we help each other through it all. And I think there's just multiple things that we are learning.
We're figuring out.
Yeah, that we are figuring
We're
out.
just figuring it out,
That
and
that people would like to know, and
yeah,
people probably wouldn't know that we've been through, or
yeah.
conversations they don't think we would have had, you
Yeah.
know?
And so if you're watching and you're listening, that's what you have to look forward to. We're gonna dive deeper into that in other episodes. Makensy will be back, and we'll continue to break it down. But at the end of the day, to leave on a high note, just like you said, a lot of people will see the followers we got from the show. We'll see the opportunities we've
Mhm.
have been given and had from the show.
Yeah.
But and it can just be a highlight reel to show that our life is this big thing, that we're in the public eye now, and
Yeah.
we're, celebrities, and that's
We
not
are
true.
influencers,
So you're
but
not true. We're just normal people, and
yeah,
we don't have a lot of it figured out, but we're figuring
figuring
it
it
out
out.
as we go. And that's the beauty. I've
Yeah.
loved figuring it out with you, baby. It's
I
been
know
it's been the joy of my life so
it's been
far,
so good.
and I'm thankful for it. So thanks for coming on today. I mean,
You're welcome,
you're gonna be
honey.
back, and this is super fun, and I love you.
I love you.
Cool. Well, if you're watching, thank you so much for tuning in. Continue to help us out. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We stream this on YouTube and Spotify. So if you don't want to always have the video version of me, you get tired about how I wave my hands everywhere, watch it on Spotify. I would appreciate if you could send this to a friend, somebody that would be interested in the conversations and the conversations that we have to come. But I love you guys. Thanks for being a part of our community here. And let's continue to figure it out together.